Okay, so I have three unsecured credit cards you can get at a 0% APR promotional period. And the most exciting part is that you can get up to $50,000 per credit card, which means you can get up to $150,000 in unsecured credit in the next 10 to 14 business days. So I have a lot of stuff to share with you, so buckle up your seatbelts because here we go. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, Monica, how can I take advantage of these 0% APR promotional periods from these specific banks? Well, first, let's back up just a tiny bit, really quick. And that is that these are unsecured business credit cards. Now, in case you don't understand how business credit works, you're going to get a lot more money with unsecured business credit card issuers than you're ever going to get from a personal credit card issuing bank. So, for example, if you have an 850 mid FICO score personally, and you decide to apply for a Bank of America personal credit card and a Bank of America business credit card, you're going to get a lot more money with the business credit card. And the reason being is because banks understand that business owners need a lot more access to money to be able to float inventory, to be able to basically operate their businesses. And so they'll always give business owners much more money, even on a brand spanking new business, than they'll ever give anybody personally. So case in point, years ago, I actually received 2 credit card offers in the mail from Bank of America. And just for the hell of it, I decided to fill both of them both the applications out, and I mailed them off. And so what ended up happening was a couple weeks later, Bank of America sent me 2 credit cards in the mail, one for me personally, one for my business, which was brand spanking new. And Bank of America only gave me $5,000 for my personal credit card, even though I have a really good FICO score. In fact, I've had a really good FICO score since years and years ago when I filed for bankruptcy. I've learned my lesson from that. So I had a really good FICO score that they were basing their decision on, yet they only gave me $5,000 personally. And for my business, they gave me $28,000 in unsecured credit, again, for a brand spanking new business. And so this is case in point that if you don't understand how the OPM credit money game works, now is a really good time for you to understand how it works, because this is no longer a game that back in the day was only available for the super wealthy and the elite, where they would use other people's money, or OPM, to basically continue to make themselves wealthy, whether they were buying a new business, expanding a business, buying real estate, investing in, the stock market, for example. They would use other people's money to expand their multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar empires. And so this used to be kind of like the good old boys billionaire club, where the average Joe Blow and average Joe Jane, if you want to call her that, were pretty much locked out of this way of doing things. Fast forward to today, and now it's a level playing field, and anybody and everybody who understands how to use this secret OPM loophole can actually use this loophole. But it all starts with you getting yourself a corporate entity. Ideally, you'll get it in your home state. You can get your corporate entity. If you're in California, you'll get it in California. If you're in Florida, you'll get it in Florida. If you're in New York, you'll get it in New York. You get the point, right? Your other alternative option is to use one of the 4 anonymous states, which are as follows: Wyoming, Delaware, Nevada, or New Mexico. Again, that's Wyoming, Delaware, Nevada, or New Mexico. And if you go with one of those corporate formation companies in any one of those 4 states, and you ask to pay an extra fee to remain anonymous, you can actually remain anonymous. So that's the cool thing about it, is that not any Tom, Dick, or Harry is going to know, basically, who you are and who owns this business. The government is always going to know who you are, okay? But the IRS, and now there's another government oversight, which is through the BOI. And so everybody's in the government level, both the state and the federal government, is going to know who you are. But if your neighbor wants to know what businesses you own, they're never going to find out if they're anonymous. And that's the whole point, is to be like the millionaire next door, basically. And so you could choose to have an anonymous corporation. However, most banks, if you walked into a bank, say in Florida, where you maybe live, and you have like a Delaware corporation, most banks are just going to say no, they're not going to open up the bank. So if you want to check out in the description box below, I have my banker Doris. She's located in California. She works with Bank of America, and she's in the business division. And I've known Doris for a long, long time. You could tell her I sent you, and basically she can open up a business bank account from anywhere in the country, no matter where your corporation is located, provided that you are an American citizen with the Social Security number, and you have your corporate docs ready, and you also have your EIN for your corporation, which is essentially the Social Security number for your company, right? So you have to have a corporate entity to start. If you don't have a corporate entity, you can't move forward with this whole 0% APR promotional period benefit that I'm talking about. So once you have a corporate entity, then you can go ahead and apply for these 3 specific, awesome 0% APR promotional periods. So let's talk about the one that's only 6 months long. So the first one is Ameris Bank. Ameris Bank is through their clearinghouse. It's basically a larger financial institution called Elan Financial. That's E-L-A-N Financial. And Elan Financial is basically the one who is the issuing bank for Ameris Bank credit cards. So if you go to the Ameris Bank credit card website and you apply for their 0% APR business credit card, you can get a 0% APR promotional period for up to 6 months or 6 billing cycles, okay? So that's the first one. And remember, you're going to want to use this money right away if you're planning on using this for some kind of wealth building enterprise. So if you're planning on buying a business or starting an online business maybe, or maybe you plan on selling some things on Amazon, or maybe you decide that you want to import-export stuff. And so you need to have your business plan somewhat fleshed out and know what you want to do to apply this money to before you start going out and applying for all these credit cards. So the second credit card that you can apply for that has a 9-month 0% APR promotional period is the Bank of America business credit card. Now the cool thing is when you talk to Doris on the phone and open up your business checking account, you can also ask her for the latest and greatest on the 0% APR promotional period. Usually it's 9 months. That's what they have right now anyway, but that could of course change in the future. And so as she's opening up your checking account for your business, she could also help you apply for a business unsecured credit card while you're opening up the account. And the cool thing is with Bank of America, she can attach that unsecured business credit card to your business checking account, and then that way if you ever are overdrawn, that credit card will fill in the gap as far as how much additional money you need. So that's the cool thing about that. They will do that automatically, is link your two together as long as it has the same EIN number. So same EIN for the business checking account, same EIN for the business credit card, and then they can link them together with Bank of America. So that has a 9 billing cycle or 9-month promotional 0% APR right now, which is through Bank of America. And the one that has the longest 0% APR promotional period is Chase Inc. So you could also go on their website and apply for their unsecured business credit card. You can get a 0% APR promotional period for up to 12 months. That's what their current promotional period is right now. And the cool thing about Chase Inc. is that they will usually give people about $50,000 in unsecured business credit right off the bat with a brand spanking new business. You don't have to have a business for 10 years or 2 years or even a year. You can literally just get your corporate docs in the mail, just get your EIN number in the mail with your corporate docs, apply for the credit card and get up to $50,000. So now you're thinking, okay, well now I have access to all this money. What should I do with it? Well, you should maybe consider buying a business on flippa.com, or maybe consider starting a business of some kind. Now, I do recommend that you do some research on the kinds of businesses that you might want to start, because starting a business is high risk if you don't know what you're doing. Like if you haven't worked for somebody for a long time and you don't know the inner workings of the business and how it works, then the likelihood that you're going to succeed in that business is probably relatively low. So you want to make sure that you have done your research and know exactly where to funnel this money to be able to start this business if, in fact, you want to start something from scratch. The other cool thing is that you can gain access to all this money at the same time. So you want to make sure that you have your Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion personal credit profiles open and that they're unfrozen, so then that way when you're applying for these credit cards online, they will have access to see your credit report, because you do have to have a mid-FICO between 720 and 750 or above to be able to qualify for this kind of credit. So you want to apply for all 3 credit cards as soon as you get your corporate docs and your EIN in the mail right away at the same time. Yes, at the same time, same day. You want it to be all pulled all at once. And then that way they'll decide, how much credit worthiness you are worthy of, and then send you the credit cards from that point forward. So you can qualify. Each credit card could very well be worth up to $50,000. Now, will you get $150,000 with all 3 credit cards? Probably not. Like Chase Inc., you'll probably get maybe $50,000. Bank of America might give you, say, 25. So that's 75. And then Ameris Bank, they might give you 15. Okay. So, you'd have a decent amount of money to work with. You'd have maybe $90,000 to work with, and somewhere between 80, 90, 100,000. Depends on, again, your personal credit worthiness, because they do pull your personal credit, and then of course they do pull the EIN credit from your business. But even if it's brand spanking new, they're going to base their credit worthy decision on your personal credit, which is why you want your mid FICO to be between 720 and 750. Now, if your mid personal credit is not that high, I strongly urge you to get my 100% free downloadable book. It's called Credit Millionaire. You can go ahead and go in the description box below and get a free copy. It's an instant 100% free download. And then that will show you not only how to start the process of fixing your personal credit, but also will show you how to start building business credit and how the whole business credit game actually works. So then that way you'll understand how to gain access to, hundreds of thousands of dollars in unsecured credit, unsecured business credit that you can use to help build wealth. Now, promise me one thing, that when you use all these tips and strategies that I share with you, you're going to use this unsecured credit for the purposes of building wealth. That is the problem with the average American who doesn't understand how finances, how investing, how credit works, in that they get themselves in trouble by buying the wrong things with this newfound credit. The last thing you want to do is go running out buying yourself a luxury car that you probably can't afford the payments for, and run out and buy yourself a big screen TV and all this other stuff that's not going to make you money. You want to only focus on the things that can make you money, okay? And then you can use that business to then use the cash flow from that business to pay off the credit cards. And then after the credit cards are paid off, then you literally have money for free forever, as long as you maintain the business. And so I recommend that you go to like a website like flippa.com, for example. You can buy a business that way. Now, please note that you're not going to be able to use a credit card to buy a business. You're going to have to get that money off the credit cards. And so there are several ways that you can do it. One way of doing it is asking for what we call convenience checks, meaning that the bank will issue you what looks like a blank check, and you can actually use it for up to your credit limit on the credit card. And you could like literally write it out for cash and deposit it in your business checking account. And there's your cash right there. Of course, there's going to be a fee of between 3 and 5%, but you got to remember, not everything is going to be free. You have to understand that these banks are in this business to make money, okay? So you can sit there and whine and cry, oh, they're going to charge me 5% or 3% on this money. It's like, yeah, but they're giving you the opportunity to be able to build wealth, right? Who else is going to give you money for virtually nothing to be able to build wealth? Nobody. So your alternative option B is to sit on your ass and do nothing because you don't want to pay that 3% or that 5%. I don't think that's a good option. I would love the opportunity, if I was starting off and didn't really know what I was doing, and knowing that I could get, say, a $50,000 credit card, I could then take that credit card, buy a business, and then get maybe a cash flow of $3,000 a month, say, use that $3,000 to pay off that $50,000 balance that I have on that credit card. And then now I have a business that's giving me $3,000 a month forever, as long as I maintain and operate the business correctly. So yes, it's worth the 3% or the 5% or whatever it is, because otherwise you'd have $0 and 0 cents coming in every single month, right? Do you see how this works? Like, poor people think in terms of nickel and diamond and not understanding the bigger scope or the bigger pictures of things. And that's why I'm trying to share with you how to expand your brain and stretch your mind beyond being penny wise, pound foolish, okay? So as long as you understand that this is for the purposes of building wealth, then you'll be in a good place. The other way that you can get this money off of your credit card and into your business checking account to use as liquid cash to buy a business is to be able to use like freshbooks.com, getharvest.com. Those are like invoicing systems where you could basically charge yourself money, and then that money will end up in your business checking account, and you could basically take that money that way. And of course, there's going to be fees. There's fees for everything. People are not in the business of doing things to, work as a charity group. That's just not how it works. So there's going to be minimal fees for you to be able to do this. But it obviously is going to be worth it because you're going to be able to get that money off those credit cards and into your bank account as liquid cash, unsecured liquid cash, to be able to use that money to build wealth for yourself, to buy a business or whatever the case may be. So that's another way that you could do it. And then the final way is you can get yourself a merchant service or a merchant account. This one's a little risky because you're not supposed to be charging yourself. However, if you have a merchant service attached directly to your business checking account, then what you could do is you can actually get that money off of your credit cards by charging yourself, by basically going into the online system and typing in your credit card and charging yourself that money, and then that money will automatically be deposited into your business checking account that you can use as liquid cash to buy a business, to invest, whatever it is that you want to do. Buy a piece of real estate, because obviously you're not going to be able to swipe a credit card to buy a piece of real estate. So that allows you to have the liquid access, I should say, to be able to access that cash that you're going to need to buy a business, to invest in a business, to invest in real estate or otherwise, okay? So I hope that kind of helped you. If it did, thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. And don't forget to get that free download book called Credit Millionaire. It's available right now, and go in the description box below. Also consider joining me with my amazing group. It's called the Creditpreneur Group. It will not only show you how to rapidly fix your personal credit, but also to rapidly increase your credit worthiness through unsecured business credit, and it will also show you how to start a highly profitable business as a credit consultant, helping people repair their credit, because people everywhere need help rebuilding and fixing their credit, and there's so much money to be had in having these kinds of clients where you can help people by using a very simple, easy to use software program to help people fix their credit, and you can get a nice healthy monthly fee for 6 months to a year, helping each one of your clients rebuild and fix their credit. So it's a really good, highly profitable business to get involved in. So if you want to know more about that, go to the creditpreneur.com website down below, and you can find out more about how you can get involved in this highly lucrative, high-paying, recession-proof credit consulting business. All right, this is Monica Main signing off, and I will see you in the next video.